Hello, and thank you for joining us in our series on Catholic women. My name is Jenny Zahner, and today we'll be talking about Annalena Tonelli. Annalena Tonelli has not yet been raised to beatification or servant of God. She was a woman who lived very recently. She died in 2003, and she lived an extraordinary life, one marked by piety and one especially marked by service to the poor. She was an Italian woman who studied to become a lawyer. She was very intelligent and worked very hard. After earning her degree, she moved to Kenya, and there she started a hospital to treat people with tuberculosis. While she was working in the hospital, she developed a system which is still used today by the World Health Organization. This system is called TB-DOTS, and it stands for Tuberculosis Directly Observed Therapy. The issue with treating people for tuberculosis in Kenya was that many people were nomadic. So after Annalena Tonelli started her hospital, she was unable to treat people. They would come for some medications, but then they wouldn't show back up. Tuberculosis is a treatable disease, but you need to receive medication regularly for 6 months. In order to combat this, Annalena started a small village near the hospital where people could bring their sick to stay where she could directly observe them. The only thing she asked in return that people would stay there was that they would allow her to see them ingest their medication so she could make sure that they were being properly treated. Her treatment at her hospital had about a 96% recovery rate. This rate is so high and so extraordinary that most scientists have dismissed her as an outlier and didn't adopt her therapy at first. But however, it is now the strategy that is most commonly used in the treatment of tuberculosis. She saved tens of thousands of people in Kenya who otherwise wouldn't have had any access to treatment. During all this time, she combated political upheaval as well as famine while trying to navigate the nuances of cultural differences and treat the sick. Many relief agencies refused to help people who lived in this area of Kenya because they knew it would be too difficult. However, Annalena embraced the difficulty. She chose to live as the poor, with the poor. She ate their food, she shared their homes. After working in Kenya, Annalena moved to Somalia, where she started another hospital to treat people with tuberculosis. While in Somalia, she realized the devastation that was being caused by AIDS and HIV in that area. And so she started treating people with HIV and AIDS as well. At one point, her house was stoned by people from her village. People threw rocks at her house and circled around it, chanting "Death to Annalena," because she was harboring a mother and a child who were suffering from AIDS. After this event, people began to be more and more hostile to Annalena and to her mission. She was beaten on several occasions, and she was kidnapped on another. People regarded her as an infidel for practicing her Catholic faith. And people also disliked her for bringing the sick into their community, such as the mother and daughter who were suffering from AIDS. On October 5th, in 2003, Annalena was working in her hospital in Somalia. She was at the age of 60, and 2 armed gunmen entered the hospital and shot her. It's unknown who these men were, but it is believed that they were associated with the terrorist organization Al-Shabaab, which had publicly denounced Annalena for her Catholic faith. Before her death, Annalena spoke with several journalists, although she refused to give a lot of details about her own personal private life. As she said, "I am nobody. If you do something for others, nobody should know you do it. I believe this absolutely." She also said, "The little ones, those without a voice, those who count for nothing in the eyes of the world, but so much in the eyes of God, his beloved little ones, have need of us, and we must be with them and for them. It doesn't matter at all if our action is like a single drop of water in a vast ocean. Although she wasn't always able to practice her Catholic faith openly, Annalena was a devout Catholic, as many people have testified. Although she wasn't able to attend Mass because of her living circumstances, she had a small chapel built in each of her hospitals, where she would spend hours and hours in prayer and devotion. Thank you for joining us.